All right, today we're diving into a project called ENTIFY. And look, it's making some truly massive promises. We're not just talking about another app here. This is being billed as freedom technology, a complete do-over of our digital world. The vision is so big it's almost hard to wrap your head around. So let's break it down. What is it? How does it supposedly work? And what are they actually trying to build? And yeah, right out of the gate, you see what I mean about big promises. This is a direct quote from the project's founder. I mean, just think about that for a second. A system where crime is literally impossible. That's the core idea we're going to be digging into. This isn't about making things a little bit better. It's about building a whole new foundation for how we live and interact. So why create something so radical? What's the problem that needs a solution this extreme? Well, the folks behind ENTIFY frame it using a concept we all know, the matrix. They argue that our current digital life is basically a trap, a centralized system designed to watch us, manage us, and sell our data, keeping us totally dependent on it. And this chart lays out the battleground perfectly. On one side, you have the world we live in now. These centralized systems that are super vulnerable. Someone can flip one switch and take a whole network down. Our data is constantly being scraped and sold. But on the other side, you have the goal of ENTIFY, a decentralized, unstoppable network where you, the individual, are in total control. And security isn't an afterthought, it's baked in from the very beginning. And if we dig a little deeper, these are the specific pillars of the problem they're aiming to knock down. First, they say our digital IDs are a joke. They're weak and easy to hack. Second, the whole financial system is on shaky ground. Government money is losing value, and let's be honest, crypto has been a roller coaster. Third, privacy. Well, what privacy? It's pretty much gone. And finally, as we just mentioned, the entire infrastructure we depend on is incredibly fragile. So how do you even begin to fix a digital world that's so broken? ENTIFY's answer is built on three core technological pillars. They're designed to fit together perfectly to create a whole new, parallel ecosystem from the ground up. And the structure is actually pretty logical. You can think of it like building a house. First, you need a foundation, a new way to communicate. That's the unstoppable network. Then you need strong walls and a good lock. That's the unhackable key for your identity. And finally, you need the rules for how everything works inside. And that's the new kind of blockchain. Each piece builds on the one before it. So let's start with pillar one, the network itself. I want you to imagine your phone could talk directly to other phones nearby, kind of like a super-powered walkie-talkie, using a built-in radio. That's a radio mesh network. Since you don't need cell towers or internet servers, the network is the people using it. The more people that join, the stronger and more resilient it becomes. In theory, you can't shut it down. Okay, now for what the creators call their secret sauce, the unhackable key. It's a physical card, looks kind of like a credit card. Your private key, the thing that proves you're you in the digital world, is created and stored entirely on this card. And here's the crucial part. That key never goes online. It never touches the internet. You physically tap the card to your phone to prove who you are. That offline design is why they can claim it's unhackable. And this simple idea leads to something absolutely foundational for the whole system. Because every single account needs one of these physical, impossible-to-clone cards, the system can guarantee that every user is a real, unique person. This isn't just some techie detail. It's the bedrock of trust for this entire world they're trying to build. And the fallout from that one card, one human rule is huge. I mean, think about it. If you can actually prove every user is a real person, you suddenly solve so many of the internet's biggest headaches. No more bots, no more fake accounts. Say goodbye to spam and phishing scams. It creates what's called a Sybil-resistant network, which is just a fancy way of saying one person can't pretend to be a million different people. It's a network of real humans. And all of that brings us to the third and final pillar. See, because trust is already baked into the system with the hardware card, that proof of life. The blockchain itself doesn't have to do all the heavy lifting. Traditional blockchains like Bitcoin use insane amounts of energy for stuff like proof of work just to make sure anonymous users aren't cheating the system. ENTIFY says, hey, our users aren't anonymous, we can skip that whole part. And the difference is pretty dramatic. Legacy blockchains are clunky, they're slow, and they have high fees. But this proofless blockchain is designed to be incredibly lightweight and efficient. So efficient, they say, that a full copy can run on every single person's phone, with no fees and using almost no energy. This, they claim, is what makes it the first truly decentralized blockchain. Okay, so that's the tech. It's a lot, I know. But what can you actually do with all of it? This is where we shift gears from the abstract code to the real-world impact and take a look at the vision for how these three pillars could totally reshape our daily lives. So, the first huge application is linking our physical world to this new digital one. The same kind of microchip tech that's in the identity card can be put into physical things, your car, your house, whatever, turning them into unique assets on the blockchain. And the most powerful example they give is your car. This quote just captures the idea so perfectly. Your car is basically a unique item, an NFT, if you will, on the blockchain that belongs only to you. To open it, your phone and the car do this little cryptographic dance. The car basically asks, hey, are you my real owner? And only your device, authenticated by your physical card, has the secret password to say yes. If this works, it would make car theft, even the really sophisticated hacks we see today, pretty much impossible. This vision also goes way beyond just physical items and tackles finance itself. So here you can see the contrast between our current system, which is based on debt, and what ENTIFY is proposing. Instead of money being controlled by central banks, their system would be based on real assets owned by you. So, for example, say you own a bar of gold that has one of these digital tags on it. You could actually issue your own currency against the value of that gold. You'd be creating a stable currency backed by a real thing you own, not by a loan from a bank. And when you put it all together, the ultimate goal is a self-policing ecosystem. With every real person and every valuable item tracked on an unchangeable blockchain, fraud and theft become completely traceable. The vision even includes a justice system, where if there's a dispute, it isn't settled by some central court. Instead, a jury of other random users is selected, and they vote on the outcome. A zero-crime, self-governing financial system? I mean, it's a massive, massive promise. So the question is, how does this all go from a wild vision to an actual product you can use? Let's take a look at the project's official roadmap to see the steps they have planned. So the rollout is planned in 3 main stages. It starts with the basics, a decentralized private chat app, which they're estimating for early 2026. This gets the network up and running. Stage 2 is the release of that NFT card, which will act as a super secure crypto wallet and add that proof of life layer we talked about. And finally, stage 3 is the ENTIFY, their own custom smartphone with the radio mesh hardware built right in, which brings the full vision together. And that brings us right back to the central question, doesn't it? The vision here is undeniably ambitious. It's promising to solve some of the biggest, most frustrating problems of our digital age. But the challenges, technical, logistical, getting people on board, they're absolutely immense. So what is this? Is it a practical blueprint for digital freedom? Or is it a beautiful, but ultimately unreachable utopian dream? For now, I guess that's the question we're all left with.